That's how it is. Here we go. Hi. Once upon a groove on an old soul tune. I watch the pin move to shape the break loose. Who makes moves, maneuver in the right direction? The rest of you get left behind and messed up in this session. I'm not trying to make a difference. Maybe some pocket change.
Welcome to Drunkcast Live.
Hey.
Episode 231.
Yeah.
I'm Drunkcast Style. I'm Travis.
I'm Dylan.
Our podcast takes place all over in Austin. At least 2 different places in Austin.
This year.
This year, yeah.
Just running the gamut
Yeah.
of all
the places.
all corners of Austin.
Well, two down.
We like to have some drinks and talk about the things that happened over the week. There are a lot of podcasts that have that genre of entertainment, but I think we're the best, and actually we've been doing it for a lot longer than a lot of them. So
It's right. It's like people who say I'm from Austin. Like, no, I lived here longer than you.
yeah.
I've been podcasting longer than you.
What? Yeah,
Then you've
that's true
been here.
too. Actually, yeah. We like to do this with interesting people. We have Adam McWaters over here on my
Morty.
right hand side now, I guess, because we're doing it in the Content Pending Studios.
Yes, the super secret layer of content pending.
Yeah.
Adjacent to the offices of Villainous.
Yes.
On Fabulous Pearl Island.
Fabulous sunny Pearl Island.
Adam's one of our favorite people in the whole world. He's our beard and luck dragon.
Thanks. Yeah,
His beard, name is Jeff.
Oh, let's not bring him into this. He's an egomaniac.
If you want to know more about our show already, you can go to drunkcastlive.com. You can go there and sign up for a newsletter. The newsletter has some extra stuff because we will talk about a lot of things. We'll usually kind of go flying by, and then sometimes it's easy to miss some of the topics. Or the things that are related to those topics. We like to, Chris Lloyd, who isn't here, likes to do some adjacent stuff in the newsletters, and it's always fun. You can also 802-359-7468. That's a place where you can text or call. You can leave us messages, and we will respond in kind. And just go to iTunes right now and subscribe, or just tell us why you won't subscribe. I mean, just review it. Just give it 5 stars and then tell us that you hate us. I mean, like, whatever.
Give us 1 star and tells you hate us.
Yeah. I mean, whatever you'd like to do, honestly.
Just interact. We're lonely.
Yeah. We're the loneliest, most popular podcast that I know. But yeah, so this is our first segment. This is going to be just kind of like, hey, what's going on, guys?
Yeah.
So, hey, what's going on, guys?
Well, apparently, our lovely foreign correspondent Todd Fitt, his reign of terror continues as he travels across the country.
That's true. Yeah. So Todd Fitt is a character. He's one of our friends from Don's Depot who decided that him and his buddy Neil Perleberg were going to go travel across the United States and then internationally. And then they went to Peru and Ecuador and a lot of really cool places in Colombia and like. But everywhere they went, they either were right there or right past the point where something serious, super serious happened, like a bombing or.
And then this week he's in Virginia.
Yeah, he's literally
taking pictures from. Charlottesville?
Charlottesville, yeah. I only knew about it because he hit me up on Messenger and he's like, "Hey, this thing's happening. You should go to CNN right now." And I was like, "What?" He's like, "I'm right in the middle of what might be a huge race ride." I'm like, "What the fuck, Todd?"
So basically, wherever he goes, stay out of his way.
I'm beginning to suspect he's the reason these things are happening.
Yeah,
he's inciting these things.
It's probably smart to go just stick with that. Yeah.
Yeah.
All right.
Which is good, you know. It's
so we need to travel more often with him so we can get our Pulitzer Prize for covering it.
Maybe catch a bullet or 2. That'd be cool.
Get that one snapshot on our iPhones. Like, that's $1 million picture right there. It's going to cover time.
That sailor who just got back from
automatic. Sit by my iPhone.
Yeah, the sailor who just got back from war and was like kissing some girl, and they both like really hate black people. You know, it's like, oh, how iconic this is. You know, let's put that on a poster in a fucking World Cafe or whatever that place is called.
Moving every Chili's 2 from here to Santa Barbara.
Chili's Express. Yeah, yeah. That's how memories are made.
Yeah,
Texas history.
Make sure you have a black and white version. Put that in every Chipotle from here.
Yeah, it's a classy one. Yeah. Go.
So stay safe, Todd.
Yeah, I told him specifically, do not get arrested. I feel weird because I don't have anyone else in my life that I have to say that to right now. I'm really proud of the fact because like
you were doing so good too.
Yeah,
like,
yeah. And Todd's like, oh, people can get arrested. I was like, don't
hold
get
my
arrested,
beer.
Todd. Yeah, that's right too. Actually,
well, in this case in particular, because Todd, is professional vagrant and looks like it.
Yeah.
Recently, because he's been traveling, he really hasn't upkept himself.
He's a touch shaggy right now.
Yeah,
for sure. Yeah.
So I'm sure he blends in with some of the more let's say disgruntled
Yeah.
people who might be at some of those protests.
That was such a nice a nice way of saying it that I think you might be a racist.
That's right. That's how it works now.
Yeah. Ghostbusters is a great movie, and those guys are all. Wait, no, that's not right.
They're very funny women. It's the only reason I did this movie.
Yeah. That stuff we'll talk about in the show. If you're new to this, we'll talk about kind of everything, whatever is kind of funny in a way or upsetting, and then tie it all back to terrible movies. Movies are really what brings us all together. And speaking of movies, of course, there's always Red Letter Media. I wish we owned that product, but they're just so good. I can't just not shout out to them for putting out the best shit. They finally made a Plinkett. If you're not familiar with the Plinkett series, made a fucking awesome video about all the things that are actually wrong with Ghostbusters. And Plinkett, the character, it's Mike, right? And we figured out it was Mike or Jay.
Well,
It's Mike.
Mike.
Mike does the
voice.
He does the voice of Plinkett. And then it's Rich who plays the character.
Rich who plays the character and has the look of
On
the
the
character.
show, on half the back, yeah. But the Plinkett reviews are anywhere from an hour to 90 minutes of really in-depth things with the possible peppering in of maybe the guy who's criticizing the movie might be a serial killer. And that's fun, because they're making a narrative. They're having a good time. But the Ghostbusters one's absolutely worth checking out, and I wish we made it, just like that fucking Pickle Rick thing. Is like, if only we were there first. But then you go like,
Well, this needed to happen.
Yeah.
And it didn't need us to happen.
It didn't need us to happen, but it also makes you kind of like, well, what does need us then?
Right. It's
No-
like
nothing.
when you if you're interested at all in music and you first hear Andrew Bird, and then you realize how many fucking instruments he's playing simultaneously, and you just go, I'm never picking this fucking guitar up again.
Yeah.
Like, what's the point? Look at that guy.
It's a hard thing for,
Yeah.
especially if you're interested in rap and you just you listen to one fucking dude. Like the first time I listened to
Timbuktu.
Timbuktu, holy shit! And Timbuktu is a Canadian rapper. There's a bunch of Timbuktus. I think there's one actually in the States too. But this
How
guy
huge?
from Canada, and he's super nice and super sweet, and he's fucking sick, and he just does all this clever shit. And I listened to it for the first time. I was like, why am I even interested in a rap career? Someone else has already stolen all the words in the English
Yeah,
language.
he used all the words.
Yeah.
This album contains all the words.
I guess that explains why Trump has so few left. Right?
That's right.
Right.
Shit.
Sad.
He never invested in them in the first place. So.
Bad. It was a bad deal.
It's a bad.
deal.
I could tell you. I told you. All my
Believe
friends
me.
were like, I was right.
Trump steaks. So
And you can only get them at the Shopper Image.
I don't know if we ever talked about it, but who did that? That Darth Trump.
Oh, that's the Aeronauts. Is that what it's
I
called?
think so. Yeah.
Let me
Something
verify
like
that real quick.
But
Make sure.
it's a YouTube thing. You can just click it if you're bored. Darth Trump, but they basically supercut Darth Vader scenes, but they use actual Trump voiceover.
Aeronauts. Aural, hearing.
Like hearing.
Yeah. It's the same guys who did the Bane outtakes. It was a kind of famous thing. Maybe one of the more famous things they did a long time ago, where they took just scenes of the movie from Dark Knight Rises and replaced them with the Bane voice. The
Pizza?
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
But
Really?
but Bane is completely obsessed with being healthy, So he's talking to all of his men. There's this famous scene in the movie where he's just delivering a speech, an emboldened speech about how Gotham is ruined and things are bad, but he replaced it all with a checklist of what all of his employees want to eat for lunch, the catering thing. He's like,
Okay.
Oh, yes, Caesar salad. Well, the dressing is a little bit heavy, but you're trying very hard. Carl, pizza.
What happened?
Sugary tomato paste.
Is that the one with the Bane rap?
yeah.
Yeah.
I'm Bane. Yes,
That's my name.
Batman and Bruce Wayne are totally the same.
But yeah, they did that. They also did the Darth Trump thing.
The Darth Trump is great.
And it's the best version of it too. I'm sure that people have tried it a couple of times, but it literally is just Darth Vader plus Trump quotes, literal quotes.
Yeah.
And I don't even know if they added extra breathing sound effects. That's what's so funny, because he always
sort of had that track, that breathing track.
No,
playing
because
through
Trump
the
is
whole
always.
thing.
yeah. Either the
But
coke
it's just-
or the fact
I
he
mean-
can't breathe through his nose because of all the coke or whatever.
It was because there's so little motion, general motion, that Darth Vader ever did, visually.
Yeah.
So, but they seem to time everything correctly to that one little hand wave you'll see.
Oh, yeah.
in,
That's
that one scene, that entire scene, and it just like hits the nail right on the
the,
head.
the editing on that is brilliant.
Why haven't we lost? Why haven't we won a war? When's the last time we won any wars? Yeah, definitely check that shit out. It's fucking great. I set a little timer here.
But when we grow up, the point is, when we grow up, we want to be Red Letter Media. That's what we're saying.
Yes, yeah,
Guys.
for sure.
They're in Milwaukee.
That's okay. I'm okay with that. Not Milwaukee, but I'm okay with being Red Letter Media.
Not okay with Milwaukee in general.
Correct.
You know,
There's some- there's some-
Milwaukee is what it means.
There's a there's some really
Wayne's World taught me anything.
Yeah, it means the good land. Does this guy know how to party or what?
there's some pretty cool shit in that city, and then there's a whole lot of heartbreak and why are they trying to pawn whatever that is as a taco? Like,
Oh, that kind of heartbreak.
Oh yeah,
Not like historical heartbreak, but like ooh,
I mean active, like live, active,
persistent, vicious
fucking
heartbreak.
mistakes. Also, like they have really excellent, like what we would technically it would be considered in the jerky, like meat, stick meat thing, bark family. And it's so delicious. It is so good, but it is just not beef jerky because it's all moist and brilliant and delicious. And I was like, well, one, the cowboy ain't eating this, man. Like this shit ain't tough. Like, and it's not gonna last.
Okay.
And that's why we eat tree bark that is made out of cows, or used to be
That's
cows.
an interesting designation you create. I mean, because like there's that place. You remember you used to get it a couple times, like Tom's Smokehouse or something. It's like it's on the way from Dallas to Houston, or no, Dallas, Houston, Dallas. There's a place called Tom's Smokehouse, and they have this excellent buffalo jerky.
Yeah.
But it's really moist. You know, like I don't like jerky that tries to bite me back. You know,
I
or
agree,
like that can be easily replaced with tree bark.
I have developed an affinity for jerky that, like, after you get through the first piece, like your jaw hurts and it wasn't at all fun.
Hipster jerky.
It was no. It's just it's widely known as the manliest food out there because it's so unenjoyable and difficult to eat.
Sure.
And theirs is just like this candy land of them. I can give them shit all I want about it, but I'm going to
Eat it.
fucking Bunzel's every time I'm there more than once, buying their cheese up. Buying all their meat stuff.
Oh, hell yeah.
They have things they consider hot sauces. They're not, but they're delicious. And really good crew. And they'll like go through, you can get all kinds of fresh cuts of meat and all sorts of cool shit that they've made. Crazy sausages. It's neat. Anyway.
I love the shit out of that stuff specifically. It's
Yeah.
all Milwaukee.
That is a Milwaukee institution.
I forget about that place as a destination, but I think we should check it out. 'Cause it'd be fun.
I would like to. I would like to take everyone there, especially if we could maybe we could do something with Red Letter Media because those guys are in Milwaukee.
Oh yeah, for sure. Yeah,
I think. Yeah, they are.
gotta talk to them about their opinions on things. Actually, no, I agree with basically everything they said. Let's take our first break, and we'll come back with more show. After this.
Wipe the dust off the canvas and wait till we break.
She looked up and she's like, "There's a lot of weird potty humor in this movie." It's like,
What a feeling, what a nice mood. A bam, boom, rock. We're here to rock you. It's like, damn, what a vibe. I got my own
welcome back to the show, everybody.
Oh, hi.
Ohio, segment 2, the Ohio mark, the double deuce.
Is anyone else excited about that movie?
The
movie
James Franco thing?
What is it
James
called?
the thing.
Well, while we're looking at the name, the movie is James Franco. It's a documentary-ish style. I mean, it's not. It's biopic.
It's a biopic specifically based on how the movie The Room was created. It's called The Disaster Artist.
Yes.
And it's about what the fuck is his name? Tommy Wiseau.
James Franco plays Tommy Wiseau.
It looks pretty fucking great.
Oh yeah, I only saw the one trailer. I guess it's the only one that's out there where he's just trying to get the Ohio mark, this line right.
Well, it's just all the line before it.
Yeah.
Well, and like
And that scene alone is pretty good. So.
if you've never seen The Room, go see The Room.
Yeah,
It's awful.
You need to, but you need to do this. It's a rite of passage.
Yes, it is an excellent bad movie.
which now he claims he did intentionally.
Of course.
Of course he does. Yeah.
No, I guess that there was Alamo had like a 10-year anniversary screening or something a couple months ago, and Wiseau was there. And apparently he was pontificating how, yes, it was intentionally a dark comedy, you guys.
Oh,
Yeah.
He is the embodiment of the boy who cried wolf. There's no way you can believe it about anything.
Whatever. Maybe it was a Statesman, our local paper, or something like that, who was their review of the event happening. They're like extremely tongue-in-cheeking, saying, yeah, no.
yeah.
You're just a really bad filmmaker who got caught into a shitty cult thing, and now you have some celebrity out of it. So
It's like a Trump
embrace
thing.
it. Just
It's like
embrace it.
I mean, you're
There's no
technically
way you're that bad.
Yeah,
or
you're
good.
you're amongst many icons of people who make terrible fucking films that
Yeah.
they think are great.
Well, in the trailer, of
which
the
thanks to
Disaster
Red
Artist-
Letter Media, I know
right.
all about.
But the trailer for Disaster Artist specifically is it flies in the face of that, because the purpose of that trailer specifically is to show like he's trying to deliver this one line. It starts off with him walking outside on the top of a roof, the access to a roof or whatever on a building, and he's just saying it over and over and over again. He keeps fucking it up, and they keep like slating it, and he keeps coming out. And the last time he comes out, he has a bottle of water because now he's thirsty because he's been doing it forever and he can't do it right, and he just like has a bottle of water, and he's just like so tired of doing it that it's the exact way it's delivered in the movie
Right.
of him being exhausted from fucking it up
Yeah,
constantly.
some like 616 takes later.
right.
And he finally just does it.
Do we know if this is based on any kind of factual or storytelling account or
Not yet.
anything? Or?
No, I'm not sure yet, but I hope so.
I thought I heard that I guess the guy who plays Mark, I thought he was somehow involved in the script, but I could be wrong on that. But
Yeah, I have no idea.
Oh, hi, Mark.
Find out more as it comes in.
ombuds us, sir.
Yes.
Ombuds that one, Chris Lloyd.
Please do it, Chris Lloyd.
But yeah, it looks fantastic, and
Yeah.
everyone should check that out.
I'm excited about it for sure. I wanted to bring up the fact. So, Dylan just recently watched Guardians of the Galaxy 2.
I did.
And I was surprised by your review because I enjoyed it so much. I can't remember if I actually saw it twice in the theaters and that, but I really did enjoy it. Walked away saying like, "Hey, cool, another one."
Yeah.
And then Adam saw it, and Adam's review was like, it's kind of cash grabby.
Yeah.
It was, and also that was. I had to go see it in a normie theater,
Oh yeah, that'll change things too.
and that will most assuredly like color.
Yeah. Well, if you're listening to
your
this and
movie
you
bad.
don't really know what Austin has, like, Austin has, I think, without argument, one of the best movie theater stylings or whatever
In the world,
Yeah.
yeah.
Because it was created, the Alamo Drafthouse, it was created by people who love movies and wanted to do movies the best they can. So not only do they have the just a simple sense of let's do a movie correctly, but they also have very interesting rules about not talking, when you can bring your kids. If you can bring your kids at all to certain movies, a bunch of different varieties of like maybe VIP or like nice chairs and stuff. But they also do a lot of research on how the movie was made, so they have this fun stuff to do before. Because like you go to normal movies in the States, like when all of us were growing up, like the best thing we can have before the credits, or not credits, well before the credits and before the previews was like maybe some trivia.
The answer was always Matthew Perry.
Matthew, yeah. Everyone stood in awe when we screened it. So we had that thing, and then Alamo was like, "No, let's say okay." So the Iron Man movie is like, let's show a
Let's
bunch
dig
of
up all
old-
the crappy
yeah.
Iron Man
Yeah.
shit we can find,
or
on the
or
internet.
commercials for
Yeah.
like Robert Downey Jr.'s first commercials. Like, let's look at him as a fucking 12-year-old and laugh, but it's an appreciation. It's pretty cool.
You remember they show they would show how it should have ended cartoons before.
Yeah.
So, you and I went, Travis. We saw one of the earlier Marvel movies. I think it was the first Avengers. We saw it at Alamo, and
Yeah.
before that, they were playing the how it should have ended Captain America, making fun of Captain America.
Yeah. No,
Yeah,
I,
but
yeah,
they-
I can't
they-
steer the ship. Well, why don't you just like
Jump out.
jump out? It's like, no, it's impossible. I just want to tell you I love you. No, just stop. Just
Just you can, yeah.
I got to put down in the ocean. No, you don't have to.
just keep
Yeah.
flying.
It'll put itself down. Don't worry.
right. But yeah, so without Alamo, sometimes it fades a little bit. I think I even talked about this on one of the shows with Nathan Ehrman, 229, or 229, about our friend Evan going to an IMAX to see a movie and saying like, Like he sat down, and then a kid sat down right next to him, and he's like, "Oh shit, that's right, I can't get a beer."
Yeah.
It's a combination of that and like weird seats.
Just earlier today, where I was talking with Chris Sray about that whole like concept, and he's like, "Yeah, I went to go see some movie at IMAX recently, and it was a good movie. I had a good time, but I was still kind of like, where's my fucking beer?"
Yeah,
Like-
and the beer and some advertisers.
Yeah.
Themed for the movie.
Of course, yeah, that's a fun thing too.
Yeah.
But so not seeing Guardians there might be a little bit tainted. But I watched it again today. I'm a big Marvel. I mean, like if you've been listening to the show at least for a couple of episodes, you probably know that I'm a big Marvel fan. Not Marvel, the comics as much as just the Marvel movies have just been a lot of fun. And like critically thinking like, hey, let's go to movies,
Yeah.
let's have fun.
And they are technically proving
That they're movies.
that as Tribe yeah. Well, as Tribe One said, he said, "Okay, raise your hand if you like Marvel. Raise your hand if you like DC. Which is better?" Wrong. If you like DC, you're wrong. The answer is Marvel. Sorry.
Yeah.
And
No,
then he
sure.
does a rap.
Well,
And-
natural progression of like
Yeah.
which one you like more, but not even just the fan base thing. Like just looking at it as movies, like movies that big budget Hollywood superhero movies really shouldn't be depressing. They should be fun. They shouldn't like take themselves too seriously. And Marvel does that really fucking well. And DC keeps failing because they're like take themselves really seriously, test really awfully, and then reshoot until they've gone $700 billion over budget, and then then China gives them all their money back. But
Yeah. So earlier this week, Guardians came out on the digital, so I actually purchased it because I love the first one.
bless you.
Watched Guardians of the Galaxy 2, and I met with Travis a couple days ago, and the way I explained it to him was, upon first watching Guardians of the Galaxy 2, to me felt the way in which you talk about Suicide Squad.
Right.
As far as it's just sloppy, and there's music. Here's some music to have, and then the scene is happening, and there's a baby Groot dancing. I watched it again today. It's not that bad.
Yeah.
But it's also, and I, independently, I said it's a cash grab. Travis can verify that.
Yep. Yeah, that's true.
It looks like they just, for me, it felt like the studio had a great property. And then they fell in this whole extended universe thing where we've got to shit one of these things out in 16 months, so
Right.
who cares? We don't need a script.
Right.
Right.
But
And-
look at all the blood coming out of this stone, guys.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Look, Baby Groot, we can sell the shit out of that.
That's one of the in the gauntlet. It's the bloodstone.
This one's-
It's how Marvel makes all their power. Yeah.
guys, this horse is still alive. And-
Right. Look how he dances.
right. And I don't approve of that just because they had something that they actually made good, and that's just like it was so good and it was so popular. And
Yeah.
it's just blowing up everywhere. So of course they're going to turn a new one around literally as fast as possible, and it's
Yeah.
just not going to have the same heart that the
Yeah.
other one had.
Yeah.
Yeah, before the show, Travis and I we were, and it's easy to go back and like pick apart, scenes or independent little pieces of movies, and we're not professionals at that. We can do that, but I'm looking forward to.
Well, we never went to
is,
school.
though?
for
Well, I'm looking forward to like regular
Is there
media
school for
doing
that?
it and like really dissecting it, and like the same way they did Ghostbusters. Because I think just when you and I were talking about these little tiny pieces of like that, just isn't okay. That's I don't want to bash on it. I still enjoyed it enough.
Yeah.
But I want to have someone who's very, very detailed go in there and say, look, this is empirically not good on
Right.
these particular points.
Well, one of my reviews, I guess, then you can talk about this because I watched it again today because you mentioned Dylan mentioned specifically. I was like, oh, kind of surprised by that. But I did recently recognize that my Marvel movie interest means that I have to watch a movie twice. I have to watch it twice. The first time, like actually, a lot of movies I get excited, like Edgar Wright movies, like Baby Driver. I need to see that again to know if I actually liked it or not.
I need to see it
Really?
for the first
Because I
time.
really, really liked it, but I feel
okay.
I feel like I have the veneer or the the
Like
the-
you put
like,
those
I had the-
glasses on before the movie
right,
started.
Right.
Yeah.
Like I had an erection the whole time. Like let's come first and then see it again and be like, maybe you should be going.
Take that, doctor. This bad boy's been up for 5 hours.
4.2 hours. But yeah, so I've noticed that about my watching. So like things that I'm not excited about, I will be appropriately critical. Things that I'm worried about, I will be like specifically critical. Like I will see them, and sometimes I won't enjoy them as much. Like the DC stuff, like But I was excited about Suicide Squad, no matter what I saw. So like that was literally just me being critical. But it's something like it has a good track record. In the Marvel movies, I just know I'm gonna have to see twice. Because the first time I'm like, yeah, music, dude, cool, you know?
They know this song too.
Yeah. Oh my god, I'm listening to the way home. And Guardians is kind of like that. Like the honeymoon's over a little bit because I watched it and I was like, oh, this is really weird. Because my wife had never seen it before and she loved the first one. It was actually that was the first like passage into the Marvel universe entirely. Or her thinking like, this is hey, Marvel stuff, whatever. It's like, oh, it's what Guardians? Like Chris Pratt. That's cool. And there's a group, and you'll like this. And she's like, Groot's so cute. I'm like, cool. And you keep watching. He's like, hey, that's a lot of fun. Like, are there any other fun ones? Like, so we watched the other movie, and she's like, hey, these are cool. And so I was like, let's watch Guardians 2. And she's like, I'm excited about Guardians 2. Let's watch it. And $20 on Google Play Video. I'm like, hey, let's do it, And like when she looked up and she's like, there's a lot of weird potty humor in this movie. And it's like, oh fuck, maybe I wasn't paying attention. And then
How did I not notice that?
and it's the general like so I wound up agreeing with both of you. Like it was overall like fun and good. It's some cool stuff, but like not.
It definitely
It's clumsy.
Yeah,
It's a clumsy movie.
It definitely could have been worse, but it suffered from that turnaround fatigue.
Yeah.
Like that did not need to happen as soon as it did.
Yeah.
They're not that interesting.
I think that's the best way of.
They weren't in the fucking comics, and they
yeah.
aren't in the movies either. No
Yeah.
matter what you say.
And that's why I made a parallel to The Dark Tower because I was thinking about this.
Yeah,
I
you
was
did,
watching the movie and I was thinking about like this versus The Dark Tower, which just came out like 2 weeks ago. But by the time you're listening to this, 2 weeks or 3 weeks, whatever. Dark Tower, if you don't know, is a Stephen King. It's like the quintessential, like he considered his magnum opus. The reason why it took him so fucking long to finish the fucking thing.
And he had to get hit by a van to do it.
That's absolutely true.
How many total books were there?
7 books,
Seven
but
books.
he got to the 6th book. Every single book took him like 2 or 3 years to finish. Like I guess like
Which for Stephen King, he craps out 18 books
yeah,
a day.
yeah,
so.
that's like his thing, man.
Yeah.
And so he was really worried about finishing it out because he knew it was going to be so fucking challenging. And so like, and a lot of this came from Donnie, one of our old compatriots, our
Archivist.
yeah, archivist,
Ologist, yeah.
ologist, yeah.
Archivologist.
There
That's
you go.
correct.
Talk
These
about
new colleges, I swear to God.
talk about the fact that like those books last a long time, but the 6th and 7th book came out within like a year. Like he just shat them out because his mortality was questioned,
Right.
and he did thing. So
Turnaround fatigue. See that?
Yeah.
and so the good
It happens
people of
everywhere.
Sony decided they were going to make a movie after it was like 10 years, I think, of him like basically being in production hell of trying to actually make it into anything, TV shows, movies, or whatever.
Yeah.
So they finally said, movie, Idris Elba and Matthew McConaughey and then some kid. Like, yeah, let's go do a thing. And it came out, and it got fucking beat down in Rotten Tomatoes. It was 18% when I first saw it, 20% the last time I saw it. And honestly, it's fine. It doesn't matter. It's a I don't give a shit movie. It's a Hollywood
It
bullshit
is.
movie.
Overwhelmingly so.
Yeah, essentially, it's like I watched it and I was like, okay, like I just don't know the characters well enough to give a shit. If this was a sequel to something, then I probably would have been more interested. If it was a sequel to, say, Guardians of the Galaxy, I would have ignored it a lot. But the reason it was 20% is people wanted the fucking all 7 books combined to only 90 minutes.
Yeah.
Actually, 85 minutes. That movie's 85 minutes long.
Ooh, that's
took 7
unreasonable
books
to-
and shoved it into 85. But because it wasn't 7 books, spoiler, it was considered another turn of the wheel, which is the sense of like it's a soft reboot, sequel reboot, whatever.
Seaboot.
Seaboot, yeah. Where they took the
A Lion
concept
sea
of,
boot.
yeah, a lion sea boot, and take the concept of all the things and just put them together and say like this is what it would look like if one thing changed. And
But
By
that's
that-
not how you do that.
but it's also if you do it, who cares?
That's how they did it.
Because you can look at it objectively and say, okay, well, some things don't work and some things do, and Guardians of the Galaxy, some things work and some things didn't. I had a lot of fun with it, but watching it again, I was like, oh,
Here's the really weird irony. Just I know we're almost out of time for the segment. Here's the weird thing about it. Think about the Hobbit, a 12-page book that made into 17 hours of movies.
yeah, Jesus Christ, yeah.
So someone has the wrong idea of how to make movies on both ends of the spectrum.
Yeah. That was again, and like I'm gonna keep using this metaphor, this fucking concept of like a dude behind a desk with an erection, not making good decisions.
Right.
It happens all the fucking time. So the
He
reason why
is-
Psylocke was in that last fucking X-Men movie because like
that guy
someone
is-
wanted to fuck Psylocke and was like, let's throw her in. Like,
Yeah.
I like Olivia Munn. She's really cute.
That guy is
Right.
officially distracted.
Exactly. Yeah. Yeah.
He is not giving this movie his all.
We got enough blood for brains or dicks, and
Not at the same time.
right, not at the same time. Yeah.
Lydia Munn. Okay.
Cut it out. I finished.
She could be Psylocke. I jacked off to Psylocke so many times as a kid.
Right. One more time. That's all it takes.
One more time. One more golden time.
Why did I do that? My wife's gonna kill me.
Oh no, that's his best locker room story. Yeah, I got her in that movie. Yeah.
Yeah.
I made my fantasy come true.
Locker room, most like a therapist. Let's take another break. We'll come back. More show. Instead of making pizza, I invited roaches into my wife's vagina. You know, like.
I can laugh with you, Travis. This is unfair.
Yeah, sorry. Welcome to the show, everybody.
Hey.
Segment 3, the Fighting 3. Fighting 3.
Yeah, we're fighting already.
Still hanging with that. So we got finished with conversations about Guardians of the Galaxy and, rose-colored glasses and all that.
They're not rose. They're cyan.
Oh, sure.
We're fighting now.
There's salmon.
Who's Martha?
Glasses. Yeah, actually, and Dylan made that point too. Like, this kind of general concept of like, all right, my mom beat my mom up. She killed my mom.
As far as the one turning point in the movie for Peter Quill was
yeah.
basically they pulled a Martha on him, like, you killed my moms, now I'm gonna kill you, man.
Yeah, basically.
This guy I met 2 days ago says he's my dad. Okay, why do you care?
Yeah.
He made lights in my hands.
I mean, at that point, it's
Cool.
It's pretty cool,
Yeah.
And one thing I definitely did like about the movie
I'm oversimplifying,
was
obviously.
Chris Pratt actually like showing a huge range finally.
Did.
Because I haven't seen Passengers. I don't know if like he did a good job.
Oh no, that movie's
Okay. Yeah.
so hard. That movie sucks so hard.
Actually, this is even good timing too, because like you guys know that Chris Pratt and Anna Faris are splitting up
That's right.
after many years of trying it. I guess.
And being just the cutest couple on
the
all of
Marvel
celebrities.
Well, I mean,
world.
like one thing I really loved about them was the fact that they found out when they started working, like when they moved to LA, they both moved to LA. They both started trying to work. They met up. And they, I guess, like found out that they had really similar lives. Like they lived on like one street away from each other, and like they worked with the same directors on their first project. They both did this thing. They both did this thing, and so it was like this.
But besides that, nothing.
Well, besides the fact that they both said on separate occasions that they were meant to be together. She's an atheist and he's a Christian,
And he likes White Castle. She doesn't.
Probably.
That'll do it.
It is off message, but it's probably true.
That'll break up any relationship.
Well, and so I guess like there was a big thing that happened in the relationship, this is awful, but there was something that happened in the relationship where tabloids started to, or paparazzo, which is one paparazzi, started to send a bunch of rumors out about Chris Pratt cheating on her, even though there was like no definitive proof. She never had any proof of it. Like she never not believed it, I guess, and so it was just something that eventually like tore them apart, which sucks because
it does.
they're so cute, and I love Anna Faris. I mean, whatever.
I do too.
Hopefully, he marries Aubrey Plaza, and the rest of us can continue to ship that with pride. Yeah.
I would that gives the drunk cast seal of approval.
Fuck yeah, that's the
Travis, you can officiate.
that's the Cupid bump. Boing.
You can officiate the wedding.
Yeah, I will.
Yeah.
Oh, fuck yeah, I will. Actually,
we'll have it at Dawn's.
it's in the Parks and Rec. I made that as a rider in the Parks and Rec contract that everyone had to sign. It's like if any of you get married, I have to be there. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
It was the best thing I've ever done.
It was a master stroke.
Yeah.
It'll pay off eventually. It's a long game.
It's a long game.
It is
It's always worth it, though.
the most dangerous game.
Yeah. So what else happened this week? What watch that? I watched Ozarks. Try the first episode of Ozarks out, and it
How
was
was
it's good.
I've heard good things.
It's good. It's got a really interesting, like, kind of Breaking Bad style of thing. The first episode and the way it's actually like setting the thing up is like I've said before. Like I like the idea that the first episode of a series should be its own encapsulating movie.
Yeah.
Like it should be like a standalone. Like you can not watch anymore. And it holds up to that for sure.
Cool.
I like Jason Bateman a lot, but I don't know if he's good for that role. But I was told to watch it specifically because our good friend Katie Lauer said that another good friend, Justin Wilhelm, is basically the Walter White in the show, and I was like, all right, I'll watch it.
Oh,
I mean, basically
right.
like a Walter White style Breaking Bad thing, but the main character is a really like brilliant accountant. Like, okay, all right, I'll watch it. And then it just lots of crazy stuff happens. Like, okay, cool. But I actually recommend people check it out because whatever. Also, Worst Witch.
You were trying. So you were trying to explain what Worst Witch was to me the other day, and just the concept alone sounded disturbingly terrible.
So my wife, when my wife was
Is
growing
that the
up,
one she keeps harping on?
oh yeah,
Got it. Okay.
my wife, when
I have
my,
the necessary context.
my wife was growing up, she watched this made for TV movie, made for Canadian TV movie.
Sorry.
About basically like an elementary school or middle school or like a basically like a Hogwarts for witches, and it's like there's only women at the thing and whatever, and like she was like, oh, you gotta watch this movie, So I finally watched the movie, and it's so bad, so bad, but it's like it's just as bad as a made for Canadian TV movie can be, you know, like Tim Curry shows up and he's like the only guy in the entire like
He
universe,
was
whatever.
fucking starving at that time.
Probably,
You can just
yeah.
look at him. And
He
go,
sang. It was weird. But like, so it's the story of this one character who's like coming into a place like a witch academy, and like not being very good at what she does because she's the worst witch, and then people fixing things around her, and then like, but she saves the day. Okay, fine. And so I'm on Netflix and I'm like flipping around and I see that Netflix has its own Worst Witch series, and I'm like, why?
Christmas come early.
Right. But I didn't know that the book series, 7 books since 1974 to 2013. There's 7 books of them that exists, and so they're actually filling out this thing. I'm like, all right, so maybe. And I was like, so my first worry is like, if Andrew and I.
Harry Potter lawsuit? No.
I mean, that should definitely happen because there's so many fucking parallels. But whatever. The thing that drives me the crazy is literally the fact that it's actually a worse TV show somehow
Than the movie.
Because it must be the source material is that good. Yeah, I mean, that's the only thing I could think of. Because how? But the main character is that super badass princess from Game of Thrones, a super tiny girl who's like, I'm with Jon Snow, like, you know, like
The Lady of Bear Island.
yeah.
Lady Mormont.
It's her, and she's awesome
She eats beef bark. You know she
in
does.
Game of Thrones, and
Only in Game of Thrones.
only Game of Thrones. Like, oh, it's absolutely worth watching because it's just
And this like just came out too.
yeah.
Yeah, you mentioned it to me a couple days ago, and then I went home and I turned on Netflix, and it was in the featured thing you might want to watch. Like, no, I do not want to watch that.
No, check it
How
out.
dare you.
Check it out, dude. If you need a good cry, you know, because like there's like even specifically, like there's so many times where we're just like watching. It's like, why is that? Why is that? Why is that? In this original story of the Worst Witch and the Academy of Witches or whatever the fuck the place is called, there's a scene where they're like, all right, it's time to get your familiar. It's like, oh, what's a familiar? It's like, well, you just need to go get your cat. And so it's like this whole room full of cats. Every single one of these cats is black. And every single student comes in and gets their black cat because black cat's like a natural magic color or whatever. And our main character shows up and it's like, there's no more black cats. Like,
all
what
the
the fuck?
cats hiss.
And so one person, no, there's 0 cats left. And so then she's like, oh, what cat should I pick? There's no more cats. And then a person shows up and is like, hey, here's this cat. It's not black. It's a bunch of different colors. And she's like, oh, well, I'll call it Tabby. Okay. And then like 2 episodes later, it's a different fucking cat. It's like how like it's wow.
Magic.
Yeah, magic. Yeah. If again, and we talked about this before. It's like this,
Yeah, the
it should
original-
be its own TV trope. It should be its own fucking trope. Just explain that you're turning your phasers to kill. Just do that.
Yeah.
You know?
Just say it.
Oh my god, I used a potion and my cat is a different stripe. Like,
Okay.
that's it. That's fucking enough. Yeah. Who cares? At that
right.
point?
Because the original cat ate the
Especially
rat
if she's
poison and it
yeah,
realized it
the
got hit by
worst
a
witch.
car.
That just kind of makes sense.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. She's fucking around and she accidentally changed it to different stripes or whatever. Yeah.
I wanted it black, but it turned into orange. I'm like, all right, sure,
Yeah.
that's cool.
Yeah.
Racist.
Yeah, it's more anti-Heathcliff, really. Yeah.
Sure.
Yeah. No one should terrorize their neighborhood.
Yeah.
It's in the Bible. It's in.
It's the 11th commandment.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
On the 8th day, no lasagna for you.
I can't remember what else. What would you guys watch recently?
As I told you but I figured I'd bring it up. I spent a lot of time wanting to, but not actually sitting down and watching the first season of Atlanta.
Oh yes, yes.
And I finally did, even though it's not anywhere anymore. So I got to it via alternative means.
It's not on Netflix anymore?
No, it's not.
Oh.
That's where I had it on the watch list. I just never got to it. And I finally did, and that shit is brilliant. That is an excellent show.
Is it really? Nice.
Like, I want to send a thank you note to Donald Glover and crew and just be like, wow.
Very nice.
Yeah, look at that. So it's the Amazon.
Is it Amazon Prime? For sale.
Looks like it's for sale. Every place you can get it is actually for sale. Amazon, Apple, Google Play,
Oh, there's another
Fandango.
there's another season coming up, isn't there?
Yes.
Yeah.
Season 2 was announced.
So
It's on Vudu, guys. You can get it on Vudu. What the fuck is the Microsoft store? Ugh.
Zune.
That's where the Zune store went.
$23 for a season.
No.
Farts.
That's what I did in order to watch this fantastic show. But it is
That's pretty reasonable.
it is so fucking clever.
Good.
And it's supposed to be, kind of a comedy, but it's got, a lot of serious topics and whatnot going on. But man, when it hits, like, you'll see it, you'll know, and
Cool.
you just go, oh my fucking god.
Cool.
And,
Cool.
yeah,
Cool.
It's phenomenal, and if you haven't watched it, it is absolutely worth it. We missed out and slept on an exceptional season 1.
Yep.
Looking forward to more of it.
Yeah, because Glover's great at everything that's not music. I get so upset with him specifically because, like, I'm sure he knows,
Gambino.
but like that motherfucker, like, he walks away from more stuff than he actually produces.
Yeah.
Like, he got to the point where he's like, "No, I don't feel like this anymore." It's like, what's the fucking point of doing it if you're gonna quit, motherfucker?
Artists are weird like that.
Yeah,
They
yeah,
are.
Yeah,
Yes.
yeah.
He's done a few tracks that I really liked.
Sweatshirts is fucking incredible.
That is a really good one.
That new album is not Gambino. Anyway, yes. So Atlanta. Even though I haven't seen it, I double recommend it. That's my highest honor.
Ooh, double recommend.
Mm-hmm.
Whoa.
I might throw that up as a link.
Double dog recommend.
Yep.
Well, that we have to put a link for it because we get our Amazon kickback if you buy it from us.
Yeah.
So we're actually happy it's not available on Netflix anymore. So go buy a copy of
And
Season 1 of Atlanta
And there's our silver lining, gentlemen.
through our newsletter. There'll be a link. We'll get a small
Which you can get from drunkcastlive.com. If you haven't already been there, go ahead and go to drunkcastlive.com. You can see all the things that we've done before and all the et cetera, et
And
cetera.
tell us you're interested in subscribing to our newsletter, which is very vintage.
It's still used.
It works.
Yeah, it does work.
It works so well. You can even get people to come to meetings about secret government documents about your campaign.
Sweet.
It's like, yeah.
That sounds semi tinfoil-y. That could be fun. Bring
Tinfoil is
snacks.
great.
Yeah, bring some snacks and like some
Yeah,
flasks.
You can literally put it in the headline. I have dirt on your opponent, and they go, "I'll go."
Shut up and take my money.
Thanks, Donald Trump. Jr.
There's a show that Adam was talking about the last couple of weeks that I don't think we talked about on the show. What was the samurai show? What was it called?
The Samurai Gourmet.
Yeah. So it's like take Chef's Table and then also take like
Right. The premise is there is an older Japanese man who just retired from his job and now has all this time and freedom.
Yeah.
And he's just going out and experiencing
life for
like just food. Like, or I'm gonna have he's like super excited about like having a beer in the afternoon with his lunch
So
or,
is this like
whatever.
a travel log, Epicurean log.
Well,
What is it?
every episode features a samurai who comes in these visions that he has about like a Ronin's life. He can just do whatever he wants. He's not. Nobody tells him what to do.
That's my problem so far, really.
That sounds
Well, no,
really weird.
It is really weird and it is really funny. But that's where he's getting his inspiration kind of from, as far as like trying stuff. Because he's like, I call him Dad because he's awesome. This old guy. And yeah, I'm like, yeah, go have that beer in the afternoon, Dad. You earned it. working that whatever the hell you did.
All right.
It's delightful and adorable and really, really funny in its own weird way.
What's it called again?
Samurai Gourmet.
All right.
I love it.
Yeah, 'cause
props, Dad.
you turned it on to me specifically because, like, well, you said Chef's Table. I was like, oh man.
Mm-hmm.
Like, if you haven't watched Chef's Table, Dylan, or
I have not.
Chef's Table is fucking incredible.
I really don't watch any of those shows like that at all.
It's just really well done in a way. Like you could see the artistry involved and people who actually do. Like one of my favorites in Chef's Table actually is I can't remember what the guy's name is, but he decided he was going to do like farm to table correctly, and so he inherited this little plot of land, little farm thing, and so he's making food, and he's like, well, what we really need is we need to have this thing. He's like, we need more chickens, for example. And he's like, well, chickens eat the grass. And I was like, that's pretty cool, but the chickens only eat the grass at this point. And he started to look at, like, the chickens eat the grass, and the goats are required to make sure the chickens are safe from predators, and then the grass doesn't grow this long.
Those goats be crazy.
So we do this crazy thing here and here. And so, like, he wound up, like, as his journey to just make the best restaurant he can in the small, like, or this plot of land or whatever, he started to notice the natural elements of what makes everything work, the reason why all the animals work as a team. And so he built this, like, team of people, specific, of animals, so they can make food work perfectly. The cows only are happy if these things happen, so we need to have these kind of animals around the cows to make sure that they're happy, so the chickens can be happy. It's really interesting to see, like, people at the top of their game really do a thing. Like, I think in all things, like, it's the reason why we like TED Talks before we realize it's just like millionaires talking to each other. In the very beginning, it was like, oh, this guy must be an expert because he's on stage, and like Ted's crazy. Like, but like you get to see people who actually really super give a shit,
right?
And that's most
and
fascinating.
are also independently wealthy.
To some degree, yeah.
That helps.
Yeah.
How else do you recreate Mother Nature without having lots of cash?
Yeah.
Mama
Mama Nature needs that new Porsche.
Or there's another one. There was another one where it was like this guy.
That is an interesting idea, though.
One of the cooks, like, what he does specifically is that when he sets up shop, he only sources locally, but locally is like within like a mile. And so
that's just dumb.
Well, it's crazy what he does because he does it so fucking perfectly.
Right.
Like, and what, like,
getting used to the structure and those boundaries that are put on the whole project.
Yeah.
And actually working with just that
Yeah.
to make something really good.
So he like takes like sticks and stuff and sets the things up. So like we're gonna have fish as the main course, but chicken's gonna be part of like the appetizer, and it was like to set the thing up, and so like it turns into this like Flag style like chicken roasting device that he said. Like, he even found a place where he can, like, in one of his other journeys where he like found the right place to cook these kinds of foods, like these guinea that he found, by covering these lava pits with like leaves and like it's amazing. It's amazing when people can do that right, because otherwise it's
I
just,
can't imagine
they're
a
faking
leaf,
it.
like a leaf
hanging
out over
Yeah.
a lava pit too far.
Well, it's like these leaves that don't burn. It's like, it's crazy. It's like crazy to see like what people can do when they like really just dive into like giving a shit. It's all about giving a shit, you know? Because it's not like a Bar Rescue or like Kitchen Nightmares where like, well, I wanted to make pizza, and instead of making pizza, I invited roaches into my wife's vagina, you know? Like, it's like every fucking story is like...
Hey, that was a good episode.
It was.
That was moving. It was moving.
That's the only one I
Especially when Tapper really, brought it in and said, "Hey, I was hard on you yesterday."
Yeah.
The reason why I came back.
The reason why we had to fumigate your wife's vagina.
I have a specialist.
I got a guy.
Brought to you by...
I was hard on you yesterday.
Barproducts.com.
You lost your wife to
to roach
cockroach
semen,
vagina, which we thought we eradicated.
Sorry,
but, here you are.
She has the roach badge. We have to put her down.
We came to this little this hamlet.
Over 6,000 bars a year close every day.
We traveled to Roach Vag in Charlottesville, Virginia. Let's take a break. We'll come back last second. Bye.
Wipe the dust off the canvas and wait till we break like
Bum, bum, bum.
tripping on this deep groove. And the night's new, what a feeling, what a nice mood. A bad boom rock, we're here to rock you. It's like, damn, what a vibe. Woo. I got my old
Welcome back to the show, everybody.
Oh, hi.
Segment
Mark.
4, Roadkill Nights.
It's not a Baywatch Nights sequel. This is powered by Dodge.
Powered by Dodge. It'll get you there.
Wow.
Let's do...
Wow. No, we have to at least mention it in case no one catches this. But
Yes.
So-
by the time we're recording this.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But the whole thing in Charlottesville this evening, this weekend, I guess.
It was the weekend, yeah. It started off with a candlelight vigil that turned into a candlelight protest that turned into a tiki torque protest, which was really funny. Whereas the idea was that Robert
Cultural appropriation, sir.
a Robert E. Lee statue was going to be taken down,
Yeah.
planned by the city or the state of Charlottesville.
Yeah.
Gonna be taken down, and a series of alt-right humans. I'll say alt-right at this point. At that point.
That's
The concept was
Well, it was an alt-right organized rally.
Yeah.
That was advertised like months ago. They had a permit and everything for it.
Yeah,
so.
yeah. And there was
how
also
is Tim Pool not live?
there was also a secondary KKK rally that was happening very similar, whatever.
Because it's like Saturday.
Of course, yeah,
Yeah.
because it's a day in the year.
Yeah.
So that then they freedom of speech things.
All four of them are still there, like holding it down. Like, we'll get a discount on the meatball of the
Which
day.
was only for because he works at like Costco,
Yeah.
Get your hot dogs for 25 cents. So yeah, there was a protest, and my favorite part was literally they were like the idea was they're gonna bring torches and be like, oh, torches, we're gonna bring a thing, but some guys just didn't have like the know-how and make their own torches, so they went to Walmart and got
got the
tiki
tiki
torches.
torches.
Like seriously, like the thick citronella candles on a stick. Like, oh god.
Well, no, keeps away the skeeters.
And we
at least
mentioned-
there's that.
And so we mentioned Todd Fit before. We mentioned like some
Yeah.
part of the protest or whatever, but like there were some casualties. There were 19
Yeah.
people who were injured. 2 people were killed. 2 more people were killed in helicopter.
A crash. Of
Yeah,
some
there was
kind.
a crash. It was 2 servicemen who were killed.
Obviously,
Yeah.
when this airs, there might be more. So
Yeah,
I'm
of course,
sorry to all families, obviously. But
So Ron Workman is one
Yeah.
of the monsters who's adjacent to the show. I don't know if he still listens to the show. If he does, he should hit me up on 802-359-7468. But
he's like the good troll.
well, that's true. In a lot of ways, but he's just a
good
fucking
troll.
He's a master of a lot of discovery. Like he does a lot of work. Like
That's what I meant. Yeah.
He's never actually had a post that has anything to do with the real world that didn't actually lead to some kind of truth, or did not lead to truth. And he calls people out for it, and that's really, really important. And he gets in trouble for it sometimes, and he doesn't. So this time he noticed, like he found out through the fucking video of the guy driving into the fucking crowd of people. That not only the guy was driving a Dodge, but the license plate was this. Like on the license plate, through the license plate, you can figure out who this person is. But also, it's been many, many hours after this has happened, and no one has fucking said anything about who it was by just doing a 2-minute search on the license plate to find out who the fucking person is. They finally did. CNN posted a thing earlier, or a little
Police like to be cautious
way later.
about that.
Of course,
Could
of course.
Could have been a stolen vehicle.
But like any of the reports, like none of the reports are doing anything except for like trying to figure out what his manifesto might look like if it was video game related or whatever.
But that's not even the punchline.
That's
yet,
not even the
kids.
punchline
Hang
yet.
on,
Yeah.
hang on, it's coming.
So he points out, he like even tags Dodge vehicles. Facebook.com/Dodge. Their picture, their headline picture
Yes,
still
their header
banner says Roadkill Nights powered by Dodge.
Yeah.
And it's like this drag racing, thrill rides, muscle cars, and more. It's going down Saturday, August 12th from 11 to 10, which is like right now. And so
So yeah,
I
Dodge.
mean, literally, they're saying like there was drag racing and thrill rides and muscle cars and more from Saturday at 11 in the morning today to 10 p.m., which is 30 minutes now, 30 minutes past 10 p.m. on Saturday the 11th. And they
I think
haven't,
they're in a different time
and they haven't
zone.
taken it down. So. No, it doesn't
But still,
matter.
this thing has
Yeah.
been online all day long.
All day long, yeah.
Right.
During an event in which a Dodge was used to actually kill people.
In their defense, they probably didn't know that a Dodge would shortly or soon be killing people, unless they did.
Bum bum. bum.
Yeah.
Alex Jones.
Wake up.
So that's fun.
But yeah, so we're looking at this thing right now, and Roadkill Nights powered by Dodge.
I don't even know what does that fucking mean otherwise. Kill the road? Just kill the road nights.
No, it means just
No, kill the road nights. Just change the words because roadkill nights is like at the very best. It's saying like free food because of all those raccoons you're running over or whatever. Like I don't understand.
I can't wait until they change it to like racing for pinks night.
Sure,
And then,
yeah.
but with like the breast cancer awareness ribbon
Hey,
on there.
that's only in October.
They're gonna have to fix this, man. Like, they're gonna...
We're calling the trademark on that one.
Ugh, man.
We own that one. That's drunkcastlive.com/breast cancer awareness month. Yes. Powered by Dodge.
Race cancer awareness.
Hashtag racing for pinks.
Racing for pinks.
Racing
Hashtag
for
October.
pinks,
Hashtag we love titties.
That's true.
We love yo tits.
What else did we miss this week? That was a nice little Philip DeFranco thing.
Yeah.
I love your tits and
I like that. I appreciate that, man.
yeah, me too.
The Devastate guy is back in the news.
Yeah, he got his stuff.
No, he kept it.
No.
He kept it.
Oh,
So he was given a free tattoo removal for the entire Devastate.
Across his fucking face.
Yeah, he got like part of the 8 removed, but then got a job and said, "No, I'm getting paid now." The problem was I
Now
wasn't
it's just
getting a job.
Devast.
Well, I guess there's still an outline there.
Oh, yeah, because
But
tattoo removal's horse shit.
Well, no, I think there's actually is an outline. They just took out like the filler for it. Like, it's a solid black. But
that's like the perfect.
Devastocho.
That's the perfect amount of future proofing that a person with a face tattoo would have. So, like, well, I have a job, so why worry about the face tattoo? The point was, you should be worried about a face tattoo in the first place.
Yeah, your terrible fucking permanent mistake.
Yeah, and then
that, thanks to science, is no longer permanent.
yeah, the reason he couldn't get a job is because he had a face tattoos. Now, no, it's okay. Someone hired me.
ridiculous toilet, prison toilet tattoo or whatever. Like,
But apparently the people who are offering the face tattoo removal have said they will honor their pledge, and whenever he wants to, they will take it off.
I mean, I hope he figures it out.
Well, yeah, because it's
Jesus Christ.
it's like many sessions. It's like thousands and thousands of dollars. Worth
Oh, yeah.
of removal
Oh, yeah.
of that guy.
Yeah.
It'll take months to get all that crap off him.
Because honestly,
he will not have a beard for the rest of his life too. I hope.
that is not a small tattoo.
No,
it's
like
huge.
it's not just
It's
like,
not just a face tattoo.
it's not
like,
getting that
it's from-
dolphin off your ankle, ladies. Like
Right.
it's across his entire fucking
It basically
lower
is-
jaw.
It's
a
from
tattoo
jaw
beard,
to
yeah.
jaw, like from
Yeah.
ear to ear. This is huge, like
right.
cartoonish.
It's
thing.
even partially over the tip of his nose.
Yeah.
That is how high it is, from chin to nose.
Actually, he'd be better off just filling it all in, making it look like a tattoo beard.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Devastocho.
Divis Dojo.
Cheers to Devastocho. Anything else we missed?
Well, ESPN did that. ESPN actually had the Ocho. They made the Ocho real for one day.
Really?
Yeah, like on August
did,
8th.
yeah.
They actually had because of dodgeball. They actually on August 8th, a couple days ago, they
Temporarily
rebranded
rebranded themselves as the Ocho.
one of their channels, and they actually did post stuff like lawnmower wrestling or whatever.
Yeah, they did.
Powered by Dodge.
Yeah.
Ping pong quadruples or whatever. Yeah.
But they did it in honor of dodgeball.
Tetherball.
It was
Is that
a pretty
30
nice
Rock
move.
thing?
Pretty nice move.
Olympic tetherball.
Olympic tetherball. Yeah.
It's
yeah.
not real.
Yeah. Quintuples tennis, I think, was on one of them, or octuples. I think octuples tennis is like 8 persons. So. Only on the Ocho exclusive.
What else? Sharknado 5.
Yes. It's a bummer too. If you're new to the show, you've listened to it for more than a year. Like every year, actually the last 3 years, last 3 sequels or whatever.
We were there for 2, 3, and 4.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We would go to. We're going to the Jackalope and actually
Yeah.
watch.
It became very important to us.
We get comedians to go and live tweet the thing. It was
Yeah,
fun. Especially after the first one, I was like, "Well, it can't get any worse." I was like, "Hey, this is worse," and we're laughing
my God,
about how
it
worse.
got worse.
Yeah, in a good way.
Yeah.
Another shout out to Todd Fitt, who finally saw any of them before recently, because the 5th one came out,
Yeah.
and they had a marathon, and so he's staying with Dana and Josh Strong, and so but while he was in between like living in an actual place.
While he was in between bombs and or riots.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and a passport. So he watched. I guess he wound up watching the 4th one first or something. And he's like, "This is so awful. There's lightsabers in space." I'm like, I mean, it's just as
Yes.
awful
Yeah.
as everything.
Yeah.
Like who gives a shit?
You're missing the awesome
Yeah.
point because you missed the build-up of the first 3 movies.
Sadly, this year, they got it wrong. So first of all, they pushed it back by like 2 months or a month or so. From
They also
usual.
didn't do their normal announcement
They had no,
flurry.
and
Yes.
we
No
jokingly,
hype building.
yeah, we jokingly commented like, how bad could it be? There's no press, they haven't shown it to the press yet. Kind of thing.
Do you think they finally got ashamed of it?
Well, I watched it, and it is not good. And I don't mean like, obviously these are empirically shitty, dumb movies.
None of them are good.
Yeah.
It's
But they've ridden the bell curve of, we made a crappy thing. We realized that, it's crap.
Yeah.
Let's ride that wave.
yeah. Let's just keep crashing this plane.
No, except it gets good because they're just
like
stupid.
Captain America.
They're in on the joke. Is my point. And like 2, 3, and 4, they were just completely hamming it up on purpose.
For sure.
This one, somehow they got turned around and tried making it semi-serious again, which is
No.
Yeah,
no,
and
it's not. It can't be. It literally cannot be serious.
That's
it's
my point.
Fucking retarded.
Doesn't it
by
take place in
default.
like Britain or something too?
it takes place literally all over the world because
Okay.
they're actual time portals.
So-
that
so-
people around.
Time portal? They're
Yeah.
portals? Oh,
Yeah,
how could
they're
it be
portals.
bad?
There. Well, the Sharknado itself actually are portals.
Oh.
Yeah.
That's what they discovered.
Yeah.
Like a regular tornado,
I don't-
not so much.
I don't know enough
Assuming
about,
you don't get eaten by the Sharknado, it could transport you across the world. Yes.
I don't
And
know
did
enough
often.
about shark science to say that's
Yeah.
incorrect. So
It's really
Well,
bad.
they're the
Well,
dogs.
bad's
of the
okay,
sea.
but but
Like-
No.
inaccurate science portal shark technology.
My point, but here's one of the biggest mistakes they made. They were not self-referential in a wink, wink. Look how dumb we are. They were like self-referential in like, remember in episode 2 when this really cool thing. Now we're back to finish the job. Like, no, it was a joke, you fuckers. This isn't real.
It
Weird.
wasn't cool then.
Oh, that's not fun.
Yeah.
That's a bummer too because we have Pope Tim as our mascot.
resident shark.
Yeah,
Yes.
as our resident shark. It's one of these inflatable mylar
He
shark
is-
balloons or
And
whatever that has.
he
like
is a named shark in the Sharknado series.
yeah,
right.
in the third one I think.
Second one, I thought.
Second one, yeah.
Yeah.
He was
second
a-
one
he was
when
a
they started
hammerhead.
that.
But it's like one of these like things you can like, get from China. It like has a little fin on the back that you can actually control. So like as long as there's not wind, you can fly it around your house and fuck up with your cats or whatever. And so he's been deflated every year until we go to a Sharknado, and we didn't do it this
And
year.
we do an event because we don't go to the other place anymore. And
Yep.
Well, that
also we didn't even I didn't even fucking know Sharknado 5 was a thing until like last week.
yeah, I didn't know it was airing until like the day before.
That's a bummer. Oh, it was on my calendar for a while. I was like, how the fuck to see it? Because it was on a Sunday. I was like,
Yeah, and our usual does not do Sundays anymore. But previously, it always been like during the week or something. It was always like a Wednesday or something. So
that's true too. Yeah,
it was always like 4th of July week, and they do like on Wednesday.
Yeah.
And then this year it said no, it's put on a Sunday up against Game of Thrones because that's going to be good for all.
Yeah.
that's true.
What a fucking brilliant. Maybe they just lost their budget and then like they
Lost their
got-
budget and their fucking minds.
I actually think they had more money for this one, but again, I think a weird cosine wave like we got more money, so we're taking it seriously, which makes it go down in value.
Yeah. And then you need
Damn it.
khakis. And
Yeah,
your
and the job, and
You get Van
So,
Halen.
Yeah.
to the death of one of the quote greater end quote series of movies to waste our lives
Of our
on.
generation.
Yeah.
Cheers to that.
Sharknado.
All hail, all hail the king! The king is dead. Yeah.
All McHale, the king is dead.
Rest in peace, sweet prince.
Joel McHale, the king is dead.
We're about out of time. I'd like to go ahead and say, Adam, thanks for coming and hanging out with us.
Hey, I'd like to say, Travis,
Yay.
you're welcome.
Well, I appreciate that.
Yay!
Means a lot.
Got you, buddy.
Dylan, thanks for helping me run the show.
I enjoyed being here.
Yeah, it's nice.
I do. Yeah, I like it. I appreciate not being sweating right now. That helps.
Oh, it's super
It's
nice.
really
Yeah.
nice.
Yeah.
Really nice not to just sweat uncontrollably.
I can't say the Content Pinning Studios are anything fancy, but they're at least not in the elements. Which
And
is
they're
nice.
at least they're secret. Can
Yeah.
we all agree on that?
Fuck yeah.
Yeah, that's fancy enough for this guy.
Yeah, this is the only bar Austin hipsters will not get to.
Oh, now you said something. Jesus Christ.
Oh, I had to speak my. Oh,
I saw a beard. If you like the
Hey.
show, you want to know more about the show, you can go to drunkcastlive.com. That's drunkcastlive.com. Those are 3 words that are all put together. You can go there and get some newsletter stuff. Like sign up for the newsletter. It's fun. There's some we'll have some coupons for Threadless, like t-shirts that Adam's made, shirts that we've come up with, concepts for shirts. If you have an idea for a shirt, please let us know. I'll give you some information about that. Facebook.com/drunkcastlive or Twitter @drunkcastlive on Twitter, @drunkcastlivepics on Instagram. I want to put more stuff on Instagram people are interested in. We are on the iTunes Store, the Stitcher Store, the Google Play Store. We're on TuneIn, so if you have an Amazon Echo, you can say, Amazon, play Drunkcast Live, and it'll be like, fuck yeah.
Like, word.
Word, yeah, it'll say word. Yeah, it's. I think it's a little too informal for it to do it, but you can do that. That's pretty cool. If you go to the iTunes Store, you find a place where you can do comments on any of the things that I talked about before, or any place you can get podcasts. It'd be cool if you left a comment. Tell us what the fuck you think about our show, because I think we have a good time. We've been doing it long enough that we're having a good time.
We do keep doing it,
and people are downloading it. And if you are downloading it, please let us know why you downloaded it. And if you don't like a thing, let us know. If you don't like a thing and you want to let us know even more personally, you can go to 802-359-7468. That's 802-359-SHOT. That's a phone number, a real phone number, where you can text or call, and you can leave a voicemail, or you can text us with a question or a concern or a complaint or whatever the fuck you want. That's really fun. It's fun for us to get those. So, like, do that thing and, like, show us.
We can even wish you happy birthday if you want. If it happens to be your birthday, or it's not your birthday, but you tell us that, we're not going to know.
Yes, absolutely.
And that's okay.
We won't judge.
We'll sing the song without any kind of judgment. That's the most important thing about our show is there's no judgment unless you're DC. So you can go to questions at Drunkcast Live. That's also an email address to do that thing. You can also go to contentpending.com for the rest of the shows that we do and produce. We all have a good time doing those things. There's a cat in here. Get out of here. Yeah, you're right. You can do all those things and more.
Pearl Island is shitty with cats.
Yeah, it's so many cats. I mean, they're all Marmite based. So anyway, I love you so much. I'm Travis, and it's been fun doing this thing, and we'll see you when we see you. Bye-bye.
We come to let you know what the deal is.
Content pending.